Hey everyone, Rowan here. Welcome or welcome back. Today I have been feeling really anxious all day long. I have taken my necessary medications, I have drank my herbal teas, I have done my breathing exercises, and yet she persists, the anxiety, and so I thought maybe we could just sort of hang out and do a little tarot journal together. Yeah, today I wanted to use the Poesis Oracle, which is one that I liked to turn to when I'm feeling like I need an honest hug. And then for some reason, the Antique Anatomy Tarot, I wanted to use it. I felt like I hadn't used it for myself in a while. So today I thought we would use these two decks and I would take you along as I read for myself and journal about my reading. I don't know if this will be particularly interesting to anyone, but yeah, that's the concept for this video. Whether it's interesting or not, that's what we're making. This isn't really for you, this is for me, so sorry. You're in my territory now, baby. So I'm just going to shuffle the decks and I'll be back. I don't want to do it on camera because I keep blowing out my candle when I do it on camera. So you haven't seen that happen because I keep deleting the footage. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'll be back. No, you know what? I will not be back. I will be recording on video. And I immediately start shuffling poorly. I just thought it was cowardly of me to not sit here and shuffle on video and just go ahead and talk. So I have tried now twice to film a pick a pile style tarot reading, and I've been having difficulties with it. I can't seem to get my head in the game. It feels forced. It feels fake. So I just don't think I'm ready for that yet. I've been doing it on Tumblr and I have an easy enough time doing it there, and I don't feel like I'm faking anything. I don't feel like I'm forcing anything. But the moment I turn the camera on it, it seems to go. So, yeah, I'm going to keep trying at it, but that's a video concept that's going to have to wait for a little bit. I do want to be doing tarot readings on this channel eventually. That's like one of my goals. That's part of my practice that I want to get to, is like offering readings for collective, for people I don't know directly. Like, that would be really cool. I would love to be able to connect with people in that way, but I don't think that I'm quite there yet. So I'm going to continue to grow and develop my personal practice and keep reading for friends and family who are close to me and who I know directly, and eventually get to the point where I feel comfortable doing it here on this channel. But for today, I just want to do a reading for myself. And what I'm hoping that the cards can give me is just some guidance on this upcoming work week. My work week starts on Thursday and runs through, be nice, runs through Sunday. I work 4 days a week. Wow, I really bent the crud out of that card. Jesus. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. So I always get anxious. Something about having a nice long weekend makes me anxious about going back to work. And this happens every week. And I just have to tell myself that there is no job I can have in this world that I will not be anxious to go to work. Because I'm just an anxious person. I have an anxiety disorder. That's just a thing about me. And the medicine helps, but I still have an anxiety disorder. And there are some things that are just going to make me anxious, and I have to do it anyways. But what I'm looking for today is perhaps some support from the cards, a supporting message from my ancestors, perhaps, because oftentimes when I want to use this deck, it's because my ancestors have a message that they would like to get through to me. So I'm open to that, particularly messages from my grandparents, both like direct grandparents and great-grandparents. I'd be open to their wisdom, some of their wisdom, maybe not all of it. They weren't perfect people, but hey, I would be open to just general guides. All right, that one shuffled. So, yeah, I've just been having a rough day. I try to get ahead of filming, and frankly, I think the thing is I'm not going to be able to keep up the filming schedule pacing that I want to keep up. I want to be working on this a little bit most days of the week, and I don't think I'm going to be able to maintain that kind of schedule as much as I enjoy making these videos. I've got out a lot of my ideas, and now I just kind of want to make videos as those ideas come, and I don't necessarily need to feel like I'm going to be keeping up the every other day pace that I've been trying to work with. I might go down to like maybe 2 a week. I think that's super doable with having 3 days a week off, and being very strictly 9 to 5 at the job that I do. I think I could very much, well, I say very strictly 9 to 5. It's really not strictly 9 to 5 at all. But it's no more than 8:30 to 4:30, or 8:30 to 5:30, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. I would be open to some guidance from my spirits, my spirit team, from my ancestors. I'd be open to guidance about this upcoming work week, about YouTube, about hobbies. We'll see if those come up again. Just general guidance. I've been having a rough one today, and I'd appreciate any input from anyone on my spirit team, or any energy on my spirit team or in my corner, or from my highest self even. Any sort of supportive, positive, can help messages. I know that's not necessarily always what I'm going to get, but I'd take it. If that's what you're going to give me, I'd love it. All right, let's see. All right, so we've got the 7 of coins, trigger, and the 8 of coins. I definitely think that's the message. I don't think I need to keep pulling. I think it's right there. Yeah. I need to be patient. I need to keep doing the work. And I need to beware of triggering my own anxieties about doing the work, because sometimes I feel like when I am doing repetitive tasks, I start to feel like it's a chore, even if it's something that I find joy from doing. The repetition of it starts to get to me, and I quickly stop liking it as much. And I definitely need to be patient and tend to my plants slowly, carefully. I need to put more planning into long-term developments of things rather than just focusing on the short-term outcomes, because you cannot harvest the same day you plant, and that's something that I really need to remember. And then over here, this trigger card, I actually would like to go grab the poetry for this and read the poetry for this trigger card. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have my Poesis poetry print off here. And this one for trigger says, "With tender love, I notice the scratching disharmony which causes you to dissociate and spin away from yourself. With tender love, I notice how a wound has been touched rudely and without warning, and the spiraling feeling of unsafety that has set in. As a human being growing in spirit, we do not go through life without getting hurt along the way, but from the pangs of discomfort we can retrieve our sovereignty. When we practice placing a breath in between our pain and our response, when we practice courageous inquiry into what lives beyond our reactions, when we practice holding ourselves with kindness, we have the power to lessen the charge. The lightning bolt that moves through your body is the messenger who brings the invaluable information of where the healing lies. Okay. So this definitely, to me, speaks about, like, this reading overall is about, quite frankly, it's about YouTube, it's about social media, it's about the way being online is really triggering for me, and it starts my spiraling, and I need to be careful and patient with regards to this channel, and with regards to, like, seeing... Let me be frank, I'm not here on YouTube to make money off of tarot. Like, I think that that's a silly thing to think that you can do. I am here because I have an obsession with the cards that is annoying to my loved ones, and I have to get it out somewhere else. But I'm craving seeing the payoff of the effort that I've put in with my videos, in that I'm craving that interaction with other people online talking about tarot. I haven't gotten a lot of comments or a lot of interaction on my videos yet, and that's just the way that it is. I've only had this channel for a couple of weeks, and while I've made a good number of videos, that's not very much time for people to find me and to consume my videos. So I need to just be patient. There are people out there that I can talk about this with, and I'm going to enjoy the craft for the craft's sake if I'm here. Like, that's part of what needs to be happening. I don't need to be getting caught up in the analytics, in the numbers. I don't need to be getting caught up in the have to do of it all. It's okay if I go down to only making videos a couple days a week. It's okay if I only go down to making videos 1 day a week. That would be fine. That would still be a pretty consistent schedule, which is something that I have struggled with in the past. And really, if I want to do anything with this, it's develop a sense of consistency, and like the Eight of Coins very much is about consistency in work. It's about consistency in output and in practice. So I'm going to go scan these cards on my scanner, on my printer, and then email them to myself, and that will end up being in my tarot journal. Let me see if there's any more messages moving forward, because sometimes there's more than one. We get the Knight of Coins and Death, and we get support. So the Knight of Coins to me is a card that's all about stubbornness. It's about being in a position of defense. It's about being staunch. It's about standing where you are. It's about being dependable. It's about being somebody that other people know is going to do what you say that you're going to do. But with that comes, again, that idea of stubbornness. That's to me the Knight of Coins. And then, of course, death, this idea of endings, the kind that come whether you like it or not. And then in the middle, support. Yeah, I don't know that I need to include this in my print off. Excuse me, but I do get this feeling that, like, this idea... This idea that maybe I don't have to be the consistent person that I'm really pushing myself to be all the time. Maybe it's okay that No other way around. The Death card here, it's definitely more about growing up and growing into a more stable and consistent version of myself, being the support for myself that I need, and allowing some parts of my inner child to fully die. Not all of the parts of my inner child necessarily, but some of them. And the reason I say not all of them is this is the Knight of Coins. So the suit of coins is my signifier as a Capricorn. And so when these come up in readings, I either take them as being in like aspects of my personality, or being stages of my growth cycle. So when the Knight of Coins comes up, it reminds me that I'm in a place where I have learned a lot and I'm able to practice what I have learned, but I'm also not necessarily somebody who's in a position of control over themselves or their existence. Now, I know that realistically in my life, I am at the Queen of Coins stage in my life. One could even argue the King of Coins, but I am in other ways still struggling to get past the Page stage even. This card speaks to an aspect of myself that is trying to be a better version of myself, someone who is more dependable, who is more reliable, who is more trustworthy, somebody that both myself and other people can lean on. And that requires allowing certain habits, certain behaviors to die, and embracing being my own support system for myself, and needing to make choices that are the correct choice for future me, instead of doing what past me wanted to do to mess up present me, if that makes sense. I think I am going to add this to the scan because I could journal about that for sure. Let me see if we have any more. Oh, I love when the High Priestess comes up in this deck. I love this card so much. I know it makes some people uncomfortable because it's the kid's skull, but I just love the way the teeth represent the hidden secrets. So we have the Nine of Rods, Abundance, and the High Priestess. So this definitely feels like it's more of the same reading to me. The Nine of Rods is about, again, stubbornness, about keeping going when maybe you shouldn't, about pushing yourself really hard and taking your passions to the extreme, of taking that passionate feeling to the extreme. And then this idea of the abundance that comes thereof, not necessarily abundance in notice how the suit of rods is the suit of fire, and then the abundance card is water. It's not necessarily abundance in material goods, but in this case, abundance in satiating the flame, of putting the flame out with the water, of having that abundance in what is needed to quell the desire. And then finally, the High Priestess. I do feel like I'm always seeking knowledge that's not necessarily being kept from me, but that maybe I'm keeping from myself. I'm always seeking the knowledge, but I don't feel like I do a good enough job at putting in the work. But then over here, this card maybe signifies otherwise. Maybe this is about how I need to take a look around me and see what I've already got at my fingertips, and stop trying to get past the High Priestess because I'm already in the library, if that makes sense. Or maybe now is not the time to study, now is not the time to pursue higher knowledge, now is the time to appreciate what is here in front of you. That might be another way that I could take this reading, and quite frankly, that one rings a little bit more accurate to what we've been getting as well. So I'm going to go and scan these cards in, and I'll be back. Okay? All right, so we are back. I have my printed cards, and embarrassingly, it's about 10 hours later. Last night when I went to go print off my cards, my husband came home, and so I hung out with him rather than working on continuing to make this video. So we're back at it today. Good morning. It's like 4 a.m. here. One thing about me is I am on medication to help me live, and those medications make me sleep really weird hours. So it is bright and early right now. All right, so I could use the chopper, but I'm just going to use scissors. So I print these off. First I scan them in, and then I email them to myself, and then I fit them to the page so that they are as small as I need them to be for my journal, and then I just cut them out. And if I have excess paper, I keep it and I coffee or tea stain it and use it for arts and crafts or for magical petitions, things like that. Mostly arts and crafts, but occasionally magical petitions. All right. So these came up in this order. So that's how I'm going to put them into my notebook. So we're going to go to the last page that I had blank. And as you can see, I've actually recently gotten the trigger card in another reading. This one was a sort of like a surprise shadow reading that I got the other day. Was not trying to do shadow work. Sometimes the shadow work just tells you when it's time. Let's see, do I want this on the outside or the inside? I think the outside. And let me get my adhesive roller. I use these things so much. And I just hit the corners and the long edges and then a little bit in the center. And let me line everything up here so that I can go around it with a marker. And then we put it in. All right, so that bottom one marks for me how they're gonna go. Perfect. And then for this spread, I think I'm going to use purple as my outlining color. There we go. Now, it is technically the 7th, but I'm going to date this for yesterday, 3/6/24. The decks that I used get mentioned, and so we used the Antique Anatomy. And the Poesis Oracle. And then my query was, let's see, I was looking for support when I pulled these cards. Let's see. All right, let me have some of my coffee. Okay, so what I usually do is I will divide up the reading into 3. So we have A, B, and C. Can y'all see this well? Let me zoom in a little bit for y'all. Is that better? I don't know. So let's see. For A, we had the 7 and 8 of Pentacles with trigger. So the work is triggering my anxiety. Thing that you may not know about me, so like right here I've written that this reading makes me think of my fears of social media and analytics. I don't remember if I've already said this in the part of the video I filmed last night, but I used to do like the Instagram makeup thing. I have had a YouTube channel in the past where I posted poetry videos. I have had a website where I have posted my poetry, my art projects. I've been online for my entire life. I grew up, I had a cell phone when I was like 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old, because I walked to and from school and I had to have one. And at the time, cell phones were like a new thing, and texting had just been invented, and you had to pay per text. And anyway, I've lived my entire life online, and I've done the content creator thing before, and I'm not good at it, let me put it that way. You can see where I was wearing my rings when I fell asleep because they're made of cheap metal. That's embarrassing. I forgot to put them back on for this video. They give you something to look at other than my gross little fingers, so I'm sorry about that. But I've done the online content creator thing, and I was never very good at it. I never had more than like 1,500 followers, so I was never very good at it. But I loved making makeup looks, and the online community around it was really wonderful as well. Finding people who also liked makeup, who were passionate about it, who could share their looks and I could share with them, and that was really important to me. However, the numbers of it all really got to me, and it set me off on a depressive spiral, and I try to avoid that sort of thing. So me being on YouTube again, like trying to make these videos, this is a passion project that I'm sure is going to kick my ass. Like I just get the feeling that this is not something that's going to be sustainable for me, even though I really want to do it. So I'm trying it now, and we're going to see how far it takes me and how long I can do this. But if you come across these videos and I'm not making them anymore, I'm so sorry. That's just what I had to do for my mental health. So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry if I stop. I am sorry that, that you don't get more of my bubbly personality, really. Anyway, this reading. Like, I've been creating into the void for like my entire life, and nothing that I've made has been exceptionally good. I've made some stuff that's pretty good, but I don't think I've made anything that's exceptionally good. But like I've been creating into the void for my whole life. Like it definitely has not been something where I've gotten a lot of feedback, where I've gotten a lot of community established. It's not been something that has opened up doors and opportunities for me. It's just been something that occasionally I plug away at for a year or so and then lose motivation and I disappear. And I want to be more consistent. That's a thing that I really, let me write that. All right, so that's a couple of blurbs about the first line written down. Let's move on to the next one. So this one we have the Knight, is that right? Yes, the Knight of Coins, support, and death. So this one is about growing up, killing off your inner child a little bit, and I don't want to say killing off the inner child, because lately, that's actually something that I've been working on a lot lately, is like this process of transformation from immature, younger person into, because I'm going to be 30 soon, and I've still got like about 9 months before that hits, but I'm going to be 30. That's a big one. And I'm trying to grow up, I know that I'm immature in a lot of ways where I need to be mature. I'm immature with paperwork. I'm immature with basically the really adult things. The sorts of things that my mother is good at are the things that I'm bad at. And so I'm trying to grow up and transform myself in those ways. So this idea of death here really resonates with that transformation process that I'm going through, that I'm trying to force myself to go through. And this idea of support here really ties in with my current like perspective. So there's this concept, no 0 days, and I sort of tie this idea of not having any days where you do 0 things. Like, it doesn't mean that everything you do has to be productive, but it means that if you have a day of rest, that's what you accomplished. You accomplished rest. You didn't have a 0 day. You had a day of rest. And so, like, changing my behaviors to align with what I want out of my behaviors, changing what I want to align with what my behaviors are, both of those are part of the process. But so is supporting my past self and supporting my future self with my present self. That's something that I tie into the no 0 days concept. Trying to be a friend to my future self so that my future self feels supported by my past self. And that's what being dependable is to me, is being able to support your future self with who you used to be. And then I mentioned before already, this speaks to a sort of level of my own development. So this sort of tells me that I'm in between stages. I'm no longer the page, but I'm not quite to the king-queen status yet. I don't view the king or the queen as being inherently above the other. I know that the tarot does. I don't. I view them as equals, who one may be sort of above, like the more refined version of what they stand for in their suit, depending on what the suit is. So for example, the Queen of Cups is going to be better at emotions than the King of Cups is, but the King of Cups is going to be more emotionally locked down. We don't need to get into that. Anyways, the long and short of it is this is part of my personal development, and this, I think, represents about where I am in the current process. It also speaks to, like, the Knight of Coins is, to me, a very staunch, stubborn, supportive figure, a very dependable figure. So this sort of represents the parts of myself that I'm trying to pull forward. I just don't know what to write for this reading. Let's break it down. We'll do it card at a time. That's okay. All right, so then we have support, which is about supporting and supporting myself. With myself. All right, and so then we have death. I'm just going to write kill your darlings. So don't be afraid to walk away from the parts of yourself that are no longer serving you. And then we have C, which is the Nine of Rods, Abundance, and the High Priestess. So this abundance card, I said this already, but the flowing water here makes me think not of the abundance of physical objects or monetary stature, but an abundance of happiness, an abundance of what you need to feel fulfilled. So that can be water, that can be money, that can be emotion, that can be love, that can be any number of things. So in my case, I think that this is about knowledge. I am constantly searching out understanding through the cards, through esoteric means, through reading Wikipedia, through hyper-focusing on the modeling industry for 3 weeks until I understand the ins and outs of the basics of it. Like that's kind of my thing. And so to me, this is a reading about struggling to know everything and how I should appreciate what I have, and like use the resources that I have at my disposal to try to get that higher knowledge, to try to uncover those secrets. I'm being really stubborn and expecting things to flow forth really quickly when in reality I've already got a lot of this information at my fingertips, perhaps. We're going to break this one down the same way we did the last one. So we get 9 of Wands. That's going to give me is now a full page of tarot spread. And I can go ahead and move my bookmark to the next one. So I didn't really write, sometimes I walk away from these with like very specific messages, and this one was more of a time to contemplate and to write out the messages and see what I could walk away with. These cards individually had messages for me that I'm sure when I come back and look at this in the future will make a lot more sense connectively, especially having them right next to this previous spread that I did a couple days before. Anyway, that's how I tarot journal. Let me show you some of, this is the story of a girl who had a pencil pouch. The whole world was the envy. I'm gonna stop. This is my pencil pouch. I love it. It holds a bajillion tombos. And my scissors, my whiteout, my adhesive roller. This thing is great. Got it on Amazon. Do recommend. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sure this was a really boring video. I'm gonna try to put music behind it, but I make no promises. I've never done that before, so it might not work out. But thank you for hanging out with me while we did this today. Let me know how you tarot journal down in the comments below. Like, I cannot express enough how much I am here for other people. Like, I am here to meet other people who are into tarot. please, if you liked this video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please comment down below. That's like the #1 thing I would love, is to see comments so that I can meet people and interact with people who care about tarot, or who care about journaling. But once again, I appreciate your company. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out. Let me know if this is something you'd like to see in the future, or if this was a little bit too boring. I understand if it was too boring. Thank you all so much. Mwah. I love you. Bye.